Welcome back to Blood Omen 2. Before we go, let us eat some lore.
Ever seen anything like that?
Don't touch it! I heard it's magical and dangerous.
Oh, they say that about everything. The workers move them all the day. Come on, won't do any harm to...
It appears that this is a running theme in this Blood Omen 2 universe. Everything and everyone is compelled by the fate to flick, to push, and to pull switches. If there is a switch, it will be activated, pulled, pushed, whatever. And I believe that I can hop onto that thing. But my faith is misplaced, so I fail. So these are the new kind of enemies that we actually encountered in the last video, in the beginning of the industrial sector, and well, they are no different from everything else. Wow, what a surprise. And I have absolutely no idea what I'm trying to do here because, well, much like with everything else, I have recorded this well over a month before I talk over the footage, because, well, that's what I do. No, really though, it's magical and dangerous. But what harm can there be in pushing a switch on the magical and dangerous thing? Implying that there is a purpose to pushing the switch. So it was just pushing a switch for the sake of pushing the switch, just to see what would happen. This is spectacular. I realize that it's done in a way that they were supposed to be stupid, but come on. And this guy almost deserved to live. The operative word being almost. Okay, now if I remember correctly, the next part is to get onto a tram and get into an area which will be 40 minutes of the same garbage. It's funny how I could speed this up by a rather considerable margin if I did not bother to take down non-combatants, but I want all the lore I can get, because that will empower me to simply run past the final level and not engage anything there. And I know that by the time I am at the final level, I will want to drive my head through a wall. Well, I already do, to be honest. And yeah, I'm gonna want to do that, to get that done as quickly as humanly possible. So here I have a choice between a switch and a door. The correct option is the switch, because everything should be done with a switch. Everything is a switch puzzle. Switches are inevitable, are inescapable. Okay, now this area, this is the... well, this is going to be the remainder of the industrial quarter, the remainder of this chapter. And once we get in, it will essentially be the same thing that is repeated for about half an hour, maybe even more. And you will see what I'm talking about in the next part, which is a 37-minute long update, 25 of which are just the same thing. We're talking Soul River block puzzles level of the same. Level of sameness. Same is a noun, not a noun. Same is an adjective. Sameness is a noun which does not exist. Dun 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 dun. By the way, I have died in this part. So this is not the first time I'm playing through this, because previously I have died by falling into the water. Yes, you can fall into the water here, there are no invisible walls. And of course, she decides to run. But there is nowhere to run! Oh wow, another female warrior of questionable design. At least I managed to catch her holding a crossbow in her hands. Yeah, this is gonna take a while. By the way, if you expect anything interesting to happen in this video, no, the only interesting thing was these idiots pushing a switch in order to push a switch, so this is the next 40 minutes, and I am not entirely certain what is this woman doing. Damn it, I still can't get over these dumb designs of these warriors. Like, who came up with these ideas? Like, this is... it seems like Blood Omen 2 is an influential game, because this is apparently where Rocksteady got their ideas for Arkham games. I tried to grab the axe there, but it was not getting highlighted, it just refused to, well, be highlighted. By the way, here it is also possible to fall into the water. Advice, do not fall into the water. Or better yet, do not play Blood Omen 2. It's not worth it. There will always be an elevator and there will always be a switch. Wow, that was fast. That was riveting. Because, well... time to go for a joyride. Or rather, non-joyride. What is the opposite of joy? Suffering? Torment? Yes, let's go for it. Or rather, we have just gone for a torment ride on an elevator. Of course he would survive, of course I would have to finish him off like this. And of course, there is no point in that mist, because he will, this second guy, he will inevitably catch you. He will inevitably see you when you finish off his friend here. Or maybe they're enemies. I mean, they're together, they're in the same criminal organization, but does it really mean that they're friends? We all know damn well that it does not. In fact, they quite likely hate each other. In fact, what is it that holds these people together in the same group? If you think I was going anywhere with that, you're wrong. I wasn't. That's it. That is all. This is where I died once. I mean, not right here, but below. Down below. Yeah, here. This water, that's where I fell. And the reason why I fell is because right here, near this box of pink energy, a glyph guard, this glyph guard, engaged into combat, and well, suffice to say that this happened. Except my back was right against the water. And so I died and had to play through again. And then once again, because if you see, I mean, you may have noticed that there were no cuts, there were no deaths. It's because afterwards the game fucking crashed. So I had to replay through the entirety of this video 3 times. And I did not enjoy that, not one bit. It was quite unpleasant and repetitive, because this entire game is like playing Tetris for 10 hours straight with speed never changing. Yeah. And without the fun music. Really, this is what it is. This is Perpetual Tetris. On level 1. No, really, this entire game is designed like in Soul Reaver. All the block puzzles were the same repetitive thing that was only exponentially increasing in size. It's the same thing here. So they have made a lot of different things that are all absolutely identical. You know what? Come think of it, this is actually an achievement, because to make so many levels, to make so many environments that are all completely identical. You know what? I think this is conscious design. I think it was a deliberate effort to make everything as samey, as monotonous, as repetitive as possible. I think that they have planned this. I think that this is a conspiracy against me and everyone who plays this. Why do you play this? Why are you watching this, really? Why? Okay, now see these walls, this environment. The next 40 minutes of the game is this, on rinse and repeat. And I'm being quite literal here. It's literally the same goddamn corridor followed by the same goddamn room with occasional mist. It's all going to be this up until the end of the chapter, up until the final boss. And yeah, this is not going to go well at all. Yeah, no. And by yeah, I mean no. However, it's not going to go well for this glyph guard either, because, well, I am Kain. And of course, as always, she survived this attack, which doesn't make any sense even within the Blood Omen 2 paradigm, because you put a blade right up to her temple, and then the blade goes through the entire head, and still she survives. this is on the level of I don't know, Batman and his grapnel and his shoulder staying intact forever, and this has to be done. There was no purpose to this, but it had to be done. Yeah, you see any difference between this and the previous room? Yeah, there are a lot more of those. But we will continue with these identical things in the next part. So thank you for joining me, and brace yourselves for a 37-minute long video. Goodbye.